बोलिए बताइए।
So, the topic is related to stress management of the employees, but unfortunately, it is not limited to employees only. In today's era, the complexity of life is growing day by day, and different kind of ambiguities, different kind of music the human being is facing, and that's the basic reason why this stress level of the human being is drastically increasing, and here comes the need for stress management, because only medication is not significant for reducing that stress level. So there are certain techniques available, there are certain methods, and more importantly, the management of the stress will play an acute role in minimizing and mitigating that stress level of the human being. But as we are discussing the stress of employee, so when the employee comes in the topic, then the organizational climate and the environment also appears. So basically, it starts from what is stress. Stress is nothing but it is just a stage of a mindset. Uh, it is a disbalance between the want and what actually is getting. So that is stress. As we all are aware about the fact that there are two kind of stress: good stress and bad stress. We also call them eustress and distress. So certainly there is very thin line between this stress, between good stress and bad stress. So what is good stress? So we can take an example of a cricket match. If a cricket match is going on, and if in at last over, if the runs required at last ball is 6 run, okay, so at that time of at that stage, particular stage, on the spur of the moment, what will happen that the batsman will be drastically in uh, deep stress. But how do he take that stress? He want to overcome through the stress, and he performs well. If he is hitting the ball, certainly he is getting out of that stress, and if he is getting that stress overloaded on him, certainly he will not be able to perform, he will be bowled out. So this is what good stress and bad stress results in, the repercussion of good stress and bad stress in similar situation. If we are taking it positively, certainly it becomes good stress, and if we are taking the same thing negatively, it will go into negative direction, which will, the as I said, the results of which will be negative only. So this is what good stress and bad stress is. Now coming up to the environmental organizational environment, there are n number of reasons through which the stress level of the employees will be increased. It can be more workload, it can be a bad job, it can be a bad boss, it can be amalgamation between the home issues and the work issues. So there are certain n number of reasons, but ultimately every reason has its own solution. So it is contingent, but certainly the line of management will remain similar at all the levels, although the reasons are different, but it can be controlled. So in this way, there are now again there are certain techniques which I was telling initially, that there are relaxation techniques available. Our food habits matters, then our lifestyle matters, how we spend our day, then yoga, meditation. These all therapies literally give a boost to mitigate that stress level.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're very right. I mean, this is very insightful, Dr. Deshmukh.
Yeah.
And I remember once I was sitting in a seminar about stress at workplace, especially within healthcare, and there was a very nice speaker, just like yourself, and he talked about that more than the stress itself, the anticipation that something is going to happen, yeah, is more stressful than the actual event. What do you think about that aspect?
That is, see, as I said, there are many reasons behind, many causes behind the increase of stress. So one of those causes is what you have said right now, that anticipation of future in a negative way. Okay, that will certainly increase the stress. Fear also is
Yeah.
directly related to stress level. Anxiety, fear, and anticipation of negative things. This also impacts the stress level in positive way, in increasing it. But as I said that for everything there is a particular what will we say